Hello and welcome to this week's Curriculum Connections video for the undergraduate stage 1, and this is for week 6, the week commencing the 15th of June. I'm Lucy Larkin, one of the year leads with Paul Fox-Cannell, and I'm going to take you through the expectations. So as usual, our key documentation can be found on our placement Moodle site. The link is in the email. And the username is school and password's due place, so any of our pro formas or information you may need will be in there. Our big question for this week is focusing on the content domain of assessment and feedback, and it is how do we know that learning is happening? So all of our tasks will be looking at how does assessment inform our understanding that learning is happening in the classroom. Trainees, your tasks this week are to watch the Curriculum Connections video for this week, which you're doing right now, to ensure that you are tracking the progress of your 6 focus children, so keeping up to date after each session that you teach, where you are tracking how they're getting on. Completing your weekly reflections on Abiasa. I've had some really good feedback from a lot of the mentors with how well these are going. Please make sure you continue with these to that high standard, that good quality, and to continue to deliver with more independence. So we are now looking for you to take on more whole class teaching. If you've not yet done any whole class teaching, this is the week to start. And you are going to be teaching, in a minute I'll get onto that, 3 maths and 3 English. Some of those now should be those whole class sessions, getting you ready to take on that whole class teaching. Your directed tasks this week are centred around understanding assessment, so looking at the policy of your school and what this tells you about how the teacher is accountable for learning in the classroom. Find out what data they're collecting and what data is passed on throughout the year and where the data goes. Also thinking about looking outside of English and maths across the curriculum to look at the different ways that different subjects are assessed. All of this should then be recorded within your weekly reflections. There's nothing additional to upload, but that should all be recorded within your weekly reflection. We'd also like you to talk to your class teacher about the statutory assessment that takes place in school. So thinking about SATs, which many of you may have experienced while you've been there, the multiplication check, the phonics screening check, which took place for most schools last week, and also looking at schools' progression documents to see if you can identify the connections to the statutory frameworks. So that is bringing into practice what we've learned about when you were with us in college. The teaching, as I said before, for early years, it will be 3 adult-led activities within communication and language and 3 adult-led activities in mathematical development. We would also like you to support the teaching of physical development and understanding the world. And remember, when you are not teaching, that you are supporting that learning. For trainees in Key Stage 1 and 2, we would like you to plan and teach a minimum of 3 English sessions, which could be phonics, reading, writing, and 3 maths sessions. As well as that, 1 other curriculum lesson this week, and that can be any subject. We would also like you to support the teaching of PE and another subject within the curriculum and really focus in on what the teaching looks like in those sessions. And then remember, during your contact time, you're expected to support your children with the learning. Planning should be maintained, so remember to keep that accessible in a folder because somebody may ask to see it at any point, but only 1 of those detailed lesson plans a week needs to be uploaded to Abiasa. Please remember to upload those. School mentors, this week, if you can watch this video, keep up to date with what's happening. And your weekly observation, still to continue, uploading that to Abiasa. If you do have any problems with Abiasa, please do get in contact with us and we can help you with that one. Conducting your weekly review meeting, which, as you know, can be in smaller chunks, and just making sure that the trainee has got their timetable for next week and knows what it is that they're going to plan and teach. We would also like you to, where possible, provide some support in keeping up to date with their pupil progress tracker and just honing in on that focus that we've got with assessment. If the lead mentor has not been in touch about Checkpoint 4 last week, that will be in touch this week. And hopefully for many of you it'll be an online Teams visit, and it's a chance just to check through that everything's on track. The trainee is set to make expected progress, because now is really kind of the last kind of opportunity for us to find out that things are not going as they should, and put support in place to make sure our trainees are successful for the end. Our lead mentors, as I've just mentioned, checkpoint 4, if it was not last week, should be this week, but also checking in with the trainee as well, and completing all of that. There have been a couple of mentors been in touch with about checkpoint 2 and 3, just making sure that everything's up to date, because it's not too long or far away now where we'll be conducting the assessment report, which will be completed on Abiasa for the end of the trainees programme. That's it from me this week. As usual, if there are any questions, please do get in contact with your lead mentor or Paul or myself, and we will help wherever we can. Remember, no question is too small, and good luck. See you next week.